What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review and a special expansion review. And today I'm very excited to check out the Scurvy expansion for Scuttle from Jelly Bean Games. This is for 1 to 5 players, ages 6+. It'll take you about 5 minutes to play. And in Scurvy, you are going to be adding new diseases that are, yes, horizontal cards. You're going to be adding new diseases to the game that will affect everyone else and also adding a new action into the game. It says it's more Scuttle fun, but is it? Let's open it up, look at it, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of the Scurvy expansion for Scuttles. First and foremost, you get this handy dandy little cheat sheet card, which will have you up and running with the new expansion. They do add a couple new things here. First are going to be these disease cards. At the start of each game, you're going to randomly get one of these disease cards and put it into play. It's a negative thing most of the time that everyone has to deal with. Everybody at the table has to deal with it. The rest of these are going to be shuffled into the deck, and when they pop up, everyone's going to have to deal with that disease as well. So negative, random, bad things are going to be popping up for everyone to have to deal with. Also, you are going to add a new action in this game, the Cure action. So instead of drawing or playing or summoning on your turn, you can also Cure, which is going to allow you to shuffle all the diseases in play back into the deck to essentially get rid of all those diseases which are bugging not only you, but everyone else. Now, there are also going to be a couple new vertical cards like this. There's going to be 2 new ones, Vitamin C. Diseases do not affect you, and also the ship's doctor. Instead of playing diseases when drawn, they may stay in your hand and be played as an action. So you can play those at strategic moments to kind of screw over people if you put this permanent in front of you. But let's get to the start of this expansion, which is of course going to be the new diseases. So I'll walk you through all the new diseases. So first one, draw cards until you draw a treasure. Place it under Berry Berry. Card of that suit cannot be played as treasures. Discard the other cards drawn. Cabin Fever. Players with 4 or more cards in hand at the end of their turn must discard a card. Food Poisoning. Reveal the top 10 cards of the deck and play all revealed diseases. Ugh. Shuffle the other revealed cards and Food Poisoning back into the deck. Typhus. Each player's highest valued treasure does not count towards their doubloon total. Sailor Bane. Cards with the same name as a card already played cannot be played. Yellow Flag. Players must shuffle a disease in play of their choice back into the deck each time they draw a card. Seasickness. Shuffle Seasickness and all protected cards into the deck. Scurvy. Treasures are worth 1 doubloon less for each disease in play. The dreaded Cooties. Destroy all permanents. Each time a player plays a permanent, they must pick up one of their cards. Ugh. Pyrititis. Destroy all treasures. Treasures each have a base value of 8 from that point on. Pox. Each player's lowest valued treasure is protected. It cannot be destroyed or stolen. And the Berry Berry. So that is what you're going to be getting inside of the Scurvy expansion for Scuttle. Alrighty then, the Scurvy expansion for Scuttle from Jelly Bean Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the pros side, the game retains its meanness. This is still a mean game. The diseases are going to do mean things to you, mean random things that you're going to have to deal with, but everyone is also going to have to deal with them. Also, it adds a new action, which is cool, so you're going to have a little bit more variety on your turn. You can cure all the diseases if you choose to. It fits in the base box, so you can fit this and actually the other expansion, the Blackjack expansion, into the base box without having the box, you know, be kind of open, which is always a good thing. It retains the same sort of artwork, which I enjoyed the artwork. And that's all I got. What is it? So you say 3 nice things before you say 1 bad thing. That's not happening in this review because Scurvy, I hate this expansion. I don't dislike this expansion. I hate this expansion. Scuttle will be staying on my shelf. These cards will not be in this box. I just, and I was blindsided by this. So I played the base game, reviewed it, and then I was like, all right, so now we're going to play with these expansions. And I did them in order. I did the first expansion first, the Blackjack. I really like that expansion. That one's in there. This expansion is just frustrate the living crap out of me. And there's so many things about this expansion that I do not like. So first and foremost, randomness. Random meanness that everybody has to deal with. And it's just these cards, they pop up so frequently and they change the game. They change what you might have to be doing or what you can or cannot do. And it's just annoying. It just... Also, it stretches out the game a little bit longer. One of the beautiful things about this game is it's short and sweet and simple. And by adding this expansion, you're adding another action, which isn't a big deal, but you're also like, oh, you can't do that because that disease is out there. And then once you start to get maybe 2 or 3 diseases out there, you're like, oh, you can't do this. Oh no, you can't do that. Oh, that treasure isn't worth anything. It just, I don't know, it muddies up the water, and I didn't like that. It extends out the game a little bit longer, which I also didn't like. I didn't like the randomness. You know, I don't mind the meanness, but I do not like the random meanness in the game. Also, this is a module, which means if you want to play Scuttle without this, then you have to go through the entire deck to find all these cards and take them out. Now, these cards, it's not too bad, because these cards are all, you know, obviously they're the other way. But these cards, you might accidentally leave them in there. You can't even leave them in there because they have no effect whatsoever. They have to have these cards in order to play well together. Just if you couldn't tell, I do not like this expansion. I do not like it at all. This will be staying on my shelf. These cards will not be. Oh, last but not least, the cure action. Well, it sounds cool that there's a new action that you can get rid of these diseases. You're essentially wasting your entire turn, and the only thing you're going to do is benefit everybody else. Yes, you will benefit yourself, but it takes your turn to do that, and I just don't like anything about this expansion. It is bad. So that is the Scurvy expansion for Scuttle. More Scuttle fun, it says. Lies! Lies. Get the Blackjack expansion. Leave this one on the shelf. So that is the Scurvy expansion for Scuttle. Not one that I would recommend. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. And in the comments below, let me know what was the last disappointing expansion you played. So aside from this one, for me personally, I think it was the Thurn and Taxis, what was it, Power and Glory expansion. So I really enjoy Thurn and Taxis. It was Spiel des Jahres winner. And then they had a new expansion, and so I was chomping at the bits to get it. But in actuality, it's not an expansion. It's kind of like its own standalone game, really, but it just tweaks it. Imagine if they just said Ticket to Ride Europe was an expansion to Ticket to Ride. You're like, no, this is actually just a completely different game, except Ticket to Ride Europe is good, and Power and Glory, Thurn and Taxis is not good. So that was mine. Let me know in the comments below, what was your last poor expansion that you played? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.